Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. So, what we have seen in the last lecture, we have seen the kinetic energy. What will be the effect of kinetic energy if we are going to have a case of a conservative as well as non-conservative? Sorry, the case of scleronomic and rheonomic constraint. Okay, we have seen in the first case, we have seen it is kinetic energy as homogeneous quadratic function of a generalized velocity, and in the second way, we have seen it is q 2 times t2 plus t1, right? So these are the things we have seen in the last lecture. Okay, now let us go for the next part. I hope we'll complete this chapter in this lecture, right? So let us go for the next point, that is generalized momentum and cyclic. Okay, so we'll see in this lecture. First, we will see what is the relation between generalized coordinate, generalized momentum generalized momentum and cyclic coordinate. Okay, generalized momentum you already know, but we will see the next point, that is cyclic coordinate. What do you mean by cyclic coordinate? Is actually, suppose if you are absent in the class, then you are called as a cyclic student. Cyclic means what? Coordinate which is absent in the Lagrangian is called a cyclic coordinate. The coordinate which is absent, which is absent in Lagrangian L, coordinate which is absent in the Lagrangian L is called cyclic coordinate. Okay. Now we'll see what is the relation between cyclic coordinate and generalized momentum. Actually, generalized momentum is associated with the generalized coordinate, and the relation is given by generalized momentum. Actually, this relation, you can take the proof of this relation. Actually, this is not for your syllabus. You can take the proof of this. It is available in Satya Prakash book. Generalized momentum is associated with generalized coordinate. Is associated with generalized coordinate and E is given by, what is the relation for that? Is this is what generalized momentum Pj is equals to, they are related by dou L by dou, here it is Qj dot. This is what our equation 1 we call. Actually, what is the relation between generalized momentum and generalized coordinate? Qj is a generalized coordinate, Pj is a generalized momentum. If you remember, in the first lecture we have seen what is a momentum. Momentum is nothing but mass into velocity. In the very similar way, now we have this seen in the case of a Cartesian coordinate, and in the case of generalized coordinate, we are going to denote the relation between generalized momentum and generalized coordinate as Pj is equals to dou L by dou Qj dot, where L is a Lagrangian that we are constructing with the help of T minus B. Is it okay? Simply, this was a relation given to you. Actually, the proof of this relation is not available for your syllabus. So, what is a relation? Actually, this relation is very important for you. If you want to remember, this relation we are going to use in first chapter as well as in third chapter. Okay. So, remember this relation. Now, next we are going to see in the case of conservative system, if you remember, we have in the case of conservative system, potential energy is not a function of generalized coordinate. Why it is not a function, generalized velocity? Because if you are having a conservative system, what do you mean by conservative system? A system in which The forces are constant. If forces are acting constant, obviously there will not be any acceleration. So there will not be any change in acceleration. So here we can say the potential energy is not a function of a generalized velocity. जनरलाइज वेलोसिटी का फंक्शन कब होगा? अगर आप उसमें कोई चेंज होगा, वेलोसिटी में चेंज होगा, मीन्स व्हाट? देयर विल बी acceleration. If there is change in the velocity, then only there will be a acceleration. Okay, in the case of conservative system, there will not be any change in the velocity. So hence we can say the potential energy is not a function of a generalized velocity. Okay, so I don't know how many of you understood this, or how many of you remember this. Potential energy is not a function of a generalized velocity in case of a conservative system. If you are not remembering, you can go back to our lectures on the YouTube and you can see, right? So we can have, if it is not a function, what will be the derivative with respect to qj dot? It will be equal to 0. If you are not involving, say, if you have a function as y, right, what will be dou f by dou x? It will be equal to 0. If it is not involving x, obviously the derivative is 0. So here also, if potential energy is not a function of generalized velocity, so what will be the resultant derivative with respect to that? Be equal to 0. Right. So hence, now let us go our Pj. What is the value of Pj from our equation is equals to what is the value? Dou by dou qj dot. But what is L? L is nothing but your T minus V. Correct? Value of L we have T minus V. So we can write this derivative as, by using the rules of derivative, you can apply for addition and subtraction. Dou T by dou qj dot minus dou V by dou qj dot. But what is the value of dou V by dou qj dot? It is equals to 0. So we can write this equation as dou T by dou qj dot simply. Minus 0, it will not be having any effect. So what I get the resultant? We are getting Pj is equals to dou L by dou qj dot. This is directly from the relation between generalized momentum and generalized coordinate, which is equal to, we have got the relation is dou T by dou qj dot, right? So this is what a relation between generalized coordinate and generalized momentum and cyclic coordinate. So now we are going to see what is a cyclic coordinate. Cyclic coordinate means what? The coordinate which is absent in L. Okay, the coordinate which is absent in L is called a cyclic coordinate. Up to now, we have seen many examples, just like the example of a simple pendulum. We have constructed L in the simple pendulum, in the spherical pendulum. In many other example, we have projected one particle with some velocity. Then we have seen one table example in which 2 point masses were connected, right? So in these all example, if you remember, we have constructed a value of L, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what was the steps for that? First, we find the construction. Next, what is the next step is, first we find the generalized coordinate. After finding generalized coordinate, we are going to find out T, then we'll find out V, then we construct the L is equals to T minus V, and then we'll find out the Lagrange's equations of motion depending on the number of generalized coordinate. So in every equation of L, every time it does not involve every coordinate. Suppose r and theta are there. Okay, it is not compulsory that both r and theta are in L, right? Sometime r dot and theta will be there. Sometime it will be r and theta dot. It is not compulsory that both r and theta will be there in equation of L. Okay, if you remember, you can go back and you can check after the completion of this lecture. You have to check all the whatever the example we have seen up to now. Okay, because already notes are provided to you. Provided to you. You have to download it. You have to keep it safe so that it will not be misplaced anywhere. Okay, so you have to see all the values of L. Every time it is not a function of both the generalized coordinate. In the case of r theta, if suppose it is x, y, z also. Okay, or always the equation of L does not involve all the generalized coordinate. That time we can say if suppose z is absent in L, we can say dou L by dou z will be equal to 0 if z is absent in L. So what will be the derivative of L with respect to z? It will be equal to 0. Sometime also we have seen it. If we are having the equation say d by dt of dou L by dou qj dot इथे काहीतरी व्हॅल्यू मिळते पण इथे इक्वल टू 0 आला होता ना, if you remember.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so at that time, what do you mean by dou L by dou Qj is equal to 0 means what? That Qj coordinate is not in L. If it is not in L, which means that we can say Z is cyclic coordinate. What do you mean by cyclic coordinate? The coordinate which is absent in Lagrangian L is called a cyclic coordinate, or in general we can write dou L by dou Qj. If it is equal to 0, then we say that Qj is a cyclic coordinate, or vice versa. If Qj is absent in L, then dou L by dou Qj will be equal to 0. Right? So these are the definition we have seen, the cyclic coordinate and the relation between the uh, momentum, that is generalized momentum, and generalized coordinate. And this is what a cyclic coordinate. The coordinate which is absent in Lagrangian is called a cyclic coordinate. Now let's go for the next, that is conservative theorems we are going to see. Okay, in the next part we'll see conservative theorems. The theorem which is related to conservation, that is if force is conserved, if the things are conserved, then we are going to see. First theorem that is related to conservation is conservation theorem for generalized momentum. First theorem we are going to see is conservation theorem. Conservation theorem for generalized momentum. Conservation theorem for generalized momentum. Okay, first we'll see conservation theorem for generalized momentum. Right. So let us start this. Or another statement for this will be to show that the generalized momentum corresponding to cyclic coordinate is conserved. Or statement for this proof is show that, write down it is as show that the generalized momentum corresponding to cyclic coordinate is conserved. Generalized momentum momentum corresponding to cyclic coordinate is conserved. Okay, what do you mean by the this show that generalized momentum Pj corresponding to cyclic coordinate? If you are having a cyclic coordinate, their corresponding generalized momentum, we have to show that it is conserved, which means that we have to show it is equal to some constant number. Just now we have seen the relation. Now, what do you mean by generalized cyclic coordinate dou L by dou Qj is equal to 0? Now we have to show that this Pj is equal to some constant if you are having the cyclic coordinate. Okay. Generalized momentum corresponding to cyclic coordinate. That means if you have the cyclic coordinate corresponding to that cyclic coordinate, we have to find out the generalized momentum. And in this case, we have to show that it is equals to some constant number, right? Now let us start the proof. What we are provided with this, काय दिलेलं आहे आपल्याला इथे, काय प्रूव्ह करायचं आहे, प्रूव्ह करायचं काय हे तर मी सांगितलं, पीजे इज इक्वल टू कॉन्स्टंट. व्हॉट इज गिवन टू अस इन दिस, समजतंय ना आपल्याला काय दिलेलं आहे, काय प्रूव्ह करायचं आहे. Let it be. What is given to us actually? We are provided with one cyclic coordinate. Okay. In this example, we are provided with one cyclic coordinate, right? So what is that cyclic coordinate? Let us assume that Qj is a cyclic coordinate. Okay. Let us assume Qj is cyclic coordinate. Okay, we are given with the Qj is a cyclic coordinate. So what do you mean by cyclic coordinate? By definition, we can say dou L by dou Qj will be equal to 0. If Qj is absent or cyclic in the L, so what do you mean by cyclic coordinate? Its corresponding derivative, that is dou L by dou Qj, will be equal to 0. Right. So now let us go for our Lagrange's equation of a motion. What is Lagrange's equation of motion? D by dt of dou L by dou Qj dot minus dou L by dou Qj is equal to 0. Now if dou L by dou Qj is equal to 0, what do you mean? This equation will be having only one term. What we get is
एक्सक्यूज मी
from this
मॅम,
equation, if
काही जणांना जॉईन होता येत
yes,
नाहीये.
आता सांगा त्यांना जॉईन करायला.
ओके मॅम.
So dou L by dou Qj equal to 0 means what? We get d by dt of dou L by dou Qj dot is equals to 0. Now what is the value of dou L by dou Qj dot? We have seen just now in the starting. Dou L by dou Qj dot, value of this term we have is Pj. From the equation we have seen just now, what is the relation between generalized momentum and cyclic coordinate. Okay. So we are getting d by dt of dou L by dou Qj dot, value of this term we are having Pj. Correct? Which is equals to 0. Just now we have seen now dou L by dou Qj dot is nothing but Pj. Equation number 1. From equation 1 we can put the result, and dou L by dou Qj 0 असेल तर second term काय येणार आहे 0. Okay. Now it is d by dt of Pj is equals to 0. Now we can integrate, right? Or in another way, you can say it is equals to Pj dot equal to 0. Right? Pj dot equal to 0, or you can integrate, or here also you can integrate. Pj dot equal to 0, after integrating with respect to t, what will be the resultant? After integrating with respect to t, we are getting Pj is equal to some constant number, and that is what our aim to prove, that corresponding to cyclic coordinate, the generalized momentum is constant, or we have to show that conservation theorem for generalized momentum. Okay, the question may be like this: prove the conservation theorem for generalized momentum. 2 or 3 marks question. Or show that the generalized momentum corresponding to cyclic coordinate is conserved. Okay, if we are provided with the second part, that is show that is okay. But if it is show that or prove the conservation theorem for generalized momentum, at that time you have to remember that conservation theorem for generalized momentum, in that we have to keep one cyclic coordinate. Corresponding to one cyclic coordinate, we have to prove that the generalized momentum is equal to constant. Okay, is there any doubt up to this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let us go for the next conservation theorem, that we will see conservation theorem related to energy. Okay, we'll see conservation theorem for energy. Conservation theorem for energy. Okay, so in this case, what we will see is actually the or statement. For this, I will write down here. You have to read the statement and you have to tell me what is given to us and what we want to prove. जब तक मैं लिख रही हूँ, आपको ऐसे ही नहीं बैठना, उसके ऊपर सोचना है, right? You have to think what is I am writing, and you have to tell me after completion of writing what is given to us and what we want to prove. Or statement for conservation theorem for energy. Show that the Lagrangian function L show that the Lagrangian function L do not contain the time t explicitly, so that the Lagrangian function L do not contain time t explicitly, then the total energy of conservative system is conserved. Then total energy of conservative system is conserved. Total energy of a conservative system is conserved. I hope you have read it and you have to tell me what is given to us and what we want to prove. सांगा कोणतरी काय दिले करायचं आहे.
L does not contain time t explicitly means it is a scleronomic,
हां
and we have to show total energy of conservative system is conserved means we have to show energy E is equal to something constant.
okay, that is total energy is nothing but kinetic energy plus potential energy.
Potential energy.
We have to show that the total energy is some constant number, right? So for that, let us go for the given thing. What is given to us actually? Lagrangian do not contain time t explicitly. Okay, which means that we are in the case of a scleronomic constraint. Let us start the proof. So first we'll go with the Lagrangian L. What is L? L is consisting of the three variables, that is Qj, Qj dot and T, right? Lagrangian L will be consisting of Qj, Qj dot and T. Up to now, whatever the Lagrangian we have constructed in the example, you can go back and you can see Lagrangian L will be consisting of generalized coordinate, generalized velocity. Just suppose it will be consisting of r dot, it may be consist of theta dot, t. These are the things which involve in the Lagrangian L. And what are r and theta? These are nothing but the generalized coordinate, right? So in general, I am writing this as generalized, Lagrangian will be consisting of the three things, that is Qj, Qj dot and t, correct? So for that, let us go what is given to us. L does not contain the time t, right? So for that, what I will do is I will find out dl by dt, correct? Dl by dt, that means now I have to use a chain rule for that, right? So what I will do is actually first I will find out derivative of L with respect to Q1 and derivative of Q1 I will find out with respect to T, plus what is the next term, dou L by dou Q2 plus derivative of Q2 with respect to T, plus up to so on. We have to find out up to n terms, because what is the value of J is running from 1 to up to n values are given to us. So we'll find out for dou L by dou Qn, and derivative of Qn we have to find out with respect to T. Similarly, we have to do for the second term. What you have to do for the second term? Dou L by dou Q1 dot and derivative of Q1 dot with respect to T. Okay, in this way we have to do the same procedure, that is dou L by dou Qn dot and derivative of Qn dot with respect to T. Okay, what is the last term now? It will be dou L by dou T. Correct? Now these things I can write in the form of a summation. आपल्याला दिलेलं काय, L does not contain time t. So that's why we are going to differentiate with respect to t, so that the derivative will be equal to 0. Now these all terms I can write in the form of a summation over j dou L by dou Qj into, that is Q1 dot, Q2 dot and so on. So we can write it is in general as Qj dot plus what is the next term, summation over j. What we can write about this is this we can write it as Qj dot, and q1 dot with respect to t, it will be q1 double dot. So in general, we can write it as qj double dot plus term we are having dou L by dou t. Is it okay with this derivative?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is our Lagrange's equation of motion? Actually, we are going to use now Lagrange's equation of motion. What is our Lagrange's equation of motion is d by dt of dou L by dou qj dot is equals to dou L by dou qj. Is it okay in the case of conservative system? Minus
Yes, ma'am.
minus equal to 0. Right. So we are writing this this equation is true for all j in case of conservative system. Now in the case we are in the case of conservative system, so this equation we can write. Okay. So now by using this
मॅडम ते
Lagrange's
वरची
equation of motion,
इक्वेशन
the
कळली नाही.
काय प्रॉब्लेम आहे, कुठे प्रॉब्लेम आहे हे सांगा.
इथे मॅम डो एल बाय डो क्यू एन इंटू डी क्यू एन बाय डी टीच्या नंतर अजून एकदा कशाला घेतलो आपण ते.
L काय आहे आपला, L is a function of qj dot and t.
मॅम जेथ टर्म आहेत ना मॅम,
हा
जेथ टर्म आहेत ना मॅम, याच टर्म नाही की तिथं.
काय काय
जेथ टर्म आहेत ना मॅम, क्यू
हा
जे पर्यंत घ्यावं लागेल ना मॅम, याने दिले तिथं.
No, actually j is a parameter. j कुठून रन होता है 1 2 up to n ना. For j equal to 1 काय येणार आहे q1. For j equal to 2 what will be the term q2. For j equal to n what will be the term qn. Now the next question. What is the question? L is a function of qj dot and t. आपल्याला चेन रूल माहित असेल तर ठीक आहे, otherwise you have to keep a faith on me, right? Or if you are not having a faith, you can go back and you can check the chain rule. What you have to do in the chain rule, if you are going to find out the derivative of L with respect to t, first you have to find out derivative of L with respect to qj and derivative of qj with respect to t. Correct ना?
कळलो मॅडम, बरोबर. ते एल क्यूजे क्यूजे डॉट आणि टी मध्ये होता ना, म्हणून आहे ते, म्हणून घेतलो.
L with respect to qj and then we have to take derivative of qj with respect to t. Here also it is with respect to qj dot and derivative of qj dot we have to take with respect to t. Now here L is again function of t, so directly we can take a derivative. As here j is running for 1 to up to n and t is only one parameter, so we are writing simply dou L by dou t. Is the idea clear now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, let us go for the next. Actually, we are going to use our Lagrange's equation of motion. Dou L by dou qj is equals to d by dt of dou L by dou qj dot. Right. So in this term, what is the value of dou L by dou qj from the Lagrange's equation of motion? We will write down this term as dl by dt is equals to summation over j. Value of this term we will take from the Lagrange's equation of motion, d by dt of dou L by dou qj dot into qj dot will keep as it is. We have replaced the first term. Correct. What is the second term? We have summation over j as it is, dou L by dou qj dot into qj double dot plus. Now, can anyone tell me what will be the value of dou L by dou t?
0.
Okay. So if it is equals to 0, I can write it is plus 0 or we can write it as simply the two terms. Okay. So now what I have to do is, as summation over j is common, right? And here also dou L by dou qj dot is there. So what I will do some adjustment so that the two terms I can write in the form of a simply one term, right? So we'll keep summation over j is common for both the term, right? So next I will do d by dt of dou L by dou qj dot, right, into qj dot, right? Okay. The above equation I have written in the compact form. So if you want to find out whether this equation, whatever we have written, is exactly equal to this, what you have to do is you have to find out the derivative of this term. Okay. Let me find out the derivative of this term. This summation over j is common for both the term, right? So what I have to do is, as we are going to differentiate with respect to t, dou L by dou qj dot as well as qj dot, both are functions of t, you have to use a u into v rule, right? U into v rule for a derivative. right? So first I will find out the derivative of first term, that is dou L by dou Qj dot with respect to t. At that time we'll keep Qj dot as it is, correct? Plus this summation for both the term. So we'll write down this summation over j, correct? Next, what is the next term? We will keep dou L by dou Qj dot as it is, correct? First term as it is, because first term we have evaluated the derivative. Now we have to take the derivative of second term. What is the second term? Qj dot. What is the derivative of Qj dot with respect to t? It will be Qj double dot. आली का आपली original equation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we are getting dl by dt is equals to, or now in this case d by dt we can keep common, because in both the side we are having a derivative with respect to t, right? So we can have this as d by dt is common, L minus summation over j. Okay, d by dt we have taken common, so what we remains in this is dou L by dou Qj dot into Qj dot is equals to 0. Is it okay? Because we have taken simply d by dt common, right? Just like our rule. What is our rule? D by dx of f plus g. How we can write it as df by dx plus dg by dx. In this way of a rule, we can take d by dt common and then we can write this equation, right? So after integrating this equation with respect to t, what I get the resultant term is simply, if you do the integration for this term, the integration derivative with respect to t will get cancelled, just like this, that is d by dx of integration of the term f with respect to x. So what will be the resultant? Integration derivative get cancelled. The resultant term we are getting as a simply function f plus some constant. So here also we will have L minus summation over j dou L by dou Qj dot into Qj dot is equal to some constant term, right? Okay, so here we get that it is equal to some constant term. Now, if you remember, we are in the case of conservative system. So what is the case for conservative system? Potential energy is not a function of generalized velocity. So we can have the derivative of potential energy with respect to generalized velocity is equal to 0. Okay. Remember this equation, or rather we'll rename this equation as some star, because we are going to use this equation we have whatever we have derived. Okay. So for that, dou v by dou qj dot will be equal to 0. Now let us go back to our things which we have seen initially in this lecture. What we have seen in this lecture, we have seen that generalized momentum is dou L by dou Qj dot. Okay, what do you mean by dou L by dou Qj dot? Okay, let me go to our equation which we have seen in the. Here we have derived this equation. Pj is equal to dou L by dou Qj dot. It is equal to dou T by dou Qj dot. Okay, can I take it directly? No need to prove once again, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we can take this Pj is equals to dou L by dou Qj dot, which is equals to dou T by dou Qj dot. This is the equation we have taken from the things which we have studied in the initial part of this lecture, right? So what will be the effect on this equation? Dou L by dou Qj dot is nothing but dou T by dou Qj dot, which is equals to value of a Pj, correct? So what will be our equation 2, right? If we are going to put the value of dou L by dou Qj dot, I can replace dou L by dou Qj dot by dou T by dou Qj dot from this equation. So the star equation becomes, what is the star equation? L minus summation over j. Now we are replacing dou L by dou Qj dot by dou T by dou Qj dot, but this is possible only in the case of a conservative system, because in the case of conservative system this will be equal to 0. Hence this L minus L is nothing but T minus V. T minus हे इथे जे काही येणार आहे मायनस डो व्ही बाय डो क्यू जे डॉट हे 0 असेल तरच ते त्या केसमध्ये आपण हे डो एल बाय डो क्यू जे डॉट रिप्लेस करू शकतो डो टी बाय डो क्यू जे डॉट. ओके, into qj dot as it is, which is equal to constant. Now we have to remember the last lecture. What we have seen in the last lecture, we have seen the kinetic energy as a homogeneous quadratic function of a generalized velocity. इथे आपण एक इक्वेशन लिहिलं होतं. ज्यांना आठवते ते ठीक आहे, नाहीतर you have to keep a faith on me. That means this equation we have seen in the last lecture, that summation over j dou t by dou qj dot into qj dot is equals to 2t. हे प्रूव्ह केलं होतं ना कंझर्वेटिव्ह केसमध्ये. Rather we can say it is in the case of scleronomic, we have proved 2t is equals to summation over j dou t by dou qj dot into qj dot. Okay, ह्या केसमध्ये आपण प्रूव्ह केलं होतं ना by using Euler's formula. And in the case of rheonomic constraint, we have proved it is equals to 2t2 plus t1, right? So from the conservative scleronomic case, in the case of scleronomic, as it is case of a scleronomic itself, na? Because we are provided that in the question L is not a containing T. If L is not containing T, which means that we are in the case of scleronomic. So value of this term we have replaced by 2t from the last lecture. In the exam, don't write from the last lecture. You have to write down the statement of that theorem. In the case of scleronomic conservative system, we have 2t, that is kinetic energy can be written as a homogeneous quadratic function of generalized velocity. Then by using Euler's formula, we can have this value is equals to 2t. Now what is the value of L? We can have it is t minus v. Okay, t minus v minus 2t is equals to some constant number. Right. Let me prove here only. What I get is actually t minus v minus 2t is equal to some constant. T minus 2t, it will be minus t minus v is equal to some constant. Right. So this minus also I can merge out. What I get it is resultant is t plus v is equal to minus some constant. Constant काय पण असू शकतो ना. It may be positive, negative. So we can say directly as t plus v is some constant number. What is t plus v? It is nothing but your total energy. So what is our aim to prove in this? Is actually we want to prove that, show that the Lagrangian L do not contain a time t explicitly. Then the total energy of a conservative system is conserved. तुमच्या लॅग्रॅन्जन मध्ये जर टी नसेल तर आपल्याला टी प्लस व्ही हे कॉन्स्टंट येणार आहे. दॅट इज टोटल एनर्जी विल बी equal to some constant number. Okay. If you are having any type of a doubt related to first chapter, you can say, because we have completed our first chapter of classical mechanics. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are having a doubt, you can ask. Okay, let me repeat this in short. If you're not having any doubt related to this chapter, I will close this notes and I will go for our starting point from the start of this chapter, right? Firstly, we have seen Newton's laws of motion. First, what is the first law? First law for the Newton is force is nothing but mass into acceleration. No, actually it is a second law. What is the first law? The particle is at rest unless and until external force is applied. This is second law. F is equal to ma. What is the third law? Every action has equal and opposite reaction. Okay, these are the Newton's three laws. After that, we have seen the definition of a position vector. It can be written as xii plus yij plus zi. Okay. Next, we have seen what is a velocity. It is nothing but rate of change of a position vector. Next, what is acceleration? Acceleration is nothing but rate of change of a velocity. In the definition of momentum, that is mass into velocity. Then we have seen the angular momentum. Angular momentum is nothing but is equal to. आठवतंय का कुणाला angular momentum कसं लिहिलं?
R bar cross P bar.
Good. R bar cross P bar is angular momentum. Correct. Next, we have seen the torque. N bar is equal to dl bar by dt. Okay. And what is the equation of a motion? Force is equals to dp by dt. This is related to linear momentum and this is related to angular momentum. Right. These are the basic things we have studied. After that, we have seen the conservation principle. What is a conservation principle? If force is absent, so what will be the resultant? P will be constant. That is in the case of absence of force, the momentum is constant. Okay, in the absence of torque, angular momentum is
Angular momentum is
constant. Right. So these we have seen for a single particle. Now let us go for the next. For the next part, we have seen the work done formula. It is equals to T2 minus T1. What we have done for this, we have kept some origin O, and this is what a position vector of a particle, and the particle now it is displaced from position P1 to say position P2. Okay, the particle is having some distance from origin, and this r bar is a position vector of a particle, and it is displaced from position P1 to P2. Okay, at that time we have found the formula for work done is nothing but force into displacement, that is force into dr is nothing but displacement, that is a distance, and it is written from the position say p1 to p2, we can say it is r1 to r2, that is nothing but the position vector of a particle from origin. Okay, with the help of that we have derived work done is nothing but t2 minus t1, and in the very similar way we have found the work done is nothing but v1 minus v2. And the next we have found work done is equals to T2 minus T1 is equals to V1 minus V2, and we have found it is equals to T2 plus V2 is equals to T1 plus V1. At that time we have shown that uh, total energy of a conservative system is conserved, right? And we have shown one theorem that with the help of work done, that is in the case of gravitational force, work done is written as mass into gravitational acceleration into a minus b. What is this formula we have derived? Actually, a particle is falling under the influence of gravity from position a to b, right? So at that time work done is depending upon the end points a and b, it is not depending on the path followed by the particle, right? So work done is depending only on the end points, it is not depending on the a path followed by that particle. And then we have seen that the work done for the force acting on the closed path is zero. Work done will be zero if there is a closed path. That is, if A is equal to B, the work done will be zero in the conservative case, right? In the very similar way, we have seen the converse for this. Then we have seen what is a frictional force. What is a frictional force? A force which is going to destroy your motion, and we are, or unless otherwise we have to apply the more force if you want to go in the forward position, right? Next we have seen what is a formula for force. The force can be written as a gradient of some potential function b. At that time I have shown you what is the geometric meaning of a gradient of a function, and there was a homework for you to find out what is a curl, what is a del, all those things you have to find out the gradient of a some potential function v. And at that time I have given you the example of a one that it will give you the greatest rate of increase of a फंक्शन और ग्रेटेस्ट रेट ऑफ इंक्रीज ऑफ हीट, जहां पे हीट ज्यादा होगा आपका केक वहीं पे ऊपर उठेगा ना. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट वी हैव सीन okay, the things we have seen is actually whatever the things we have seen for T1 plus T2, these things we have seen for a single particle, and then we have extended for a n number of particle. That is, if instead of having a single particle, so let us have the system of n particle. Okay, for the system of n particle, what will be the difference? We have to prove for T1 plus T2 plus T3 and so on, right? So that for that, if instead of having a single force, it will be consisting of two forces: external force Fi plus internal force Fji internal. What do you mean by Fji internal? The force acting on ith particle due to the presence of jth particle.
jth particle.
Okay, so we have seen those theorems that total energy is conserved, and work done is depending on initial and final position and all, right? Next, we have seen the constraint. What are the constraint? These are nothing but geometric restriction, or we can say it is limitations on the motion of a particle. And there are four types of a constraint. First is holonomic, next is non-holonomic, next is scleronomic and bionomic. Okay. The many examples for this we have seen. Holonomic means what? The constraint which can be written in the form of equation is called holonomic constraint. Non-holonomic means the constraint which cannot be written in the form of equation is non-holonomic. Scleronomic means what? The constraint equation which are not involving t. And rheonomic means the constraint equation which involve the type t. Okay, the examples for this, many example we have seen, and in the notes also I have written all the examples, right? After that, we have seen the degrees of freedom and generalized coordinate. Okay, what is the difference between Cartesian and generalized coordinate? Actually, the simply Cartesian coordinate is not sufficient, or rather we can say it is sufficient, but it is excess in number, right? So what is a generalized coordinate? It is nothing but least possible number of linearly independent coordinate which are required to describe the position of a particle. Instead of having many coordinate, we will have only least possible number of linearly independent coordinate. And what is the degrees of freedom? It is number of generalized coordinate. जे काही नंबर असेल ते त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम. ओके, किती आपल्याकडे जनरलाइज कोऑर्डिनेट असेल ते आपला डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम असेल, राइट? आफ्टर दॅट वी हॅव सीन व्हॉट इज अ ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन इक्वेशन. दॅट इज Ri is equal to Ri of Q1, Q2 up to so on Qn and T. So we have seen what is a transformation equation. At that time also I have asked you what is a Laplace transform. You have studied in your BSc. What is the use of Laplace transform? Actually, there was a one use, that is the time we can convert in the form of a frequency L of t or L of f of t. You are writing as L of f of t will be equal to some f of s. No, so time variable we are converting to a frequency. These are used in our electronics, right? Whenever you have electronic circuit, that electronic circuit can be solved by using the applications of Laplace transform, because every electronic circuit will be constructed with the help of a C, T, all these things we are involving. So the derivative and the things which involve we can solve by using the Laplace. Okay, after that we have seen what is a virtual work done. Virtual means what? The work done which is not possible to see by a naked eye. Okay, or the displacement which is not possible to see by a naked eye. That means imaginary work done, imaginary displacement. With the help of that, we have gone for D'Alembert's principle, right? After D'Alembert's principle, we have a Lagrange's equation of motion. Lagrange's equation of motion we have derived by using D'Alembert's principle. And the Lagrange's equation of motion, we have seen the three cases: for the conservative case and for the non-conservative case. For both the cases, we have the same equation. What is the equation? It is equal to 0. What was our equation? d by dt of dou L by dou Qj dot minus dou L by dou Qj is equals to 0. But for the case of partially conservative, what do you mean by partially conservative? It is consisting of both the cases, conservative as well as non-conservative. For that case, the value is equal to some Qj d dash. What do you mean by Qj d dash? It is a dissipative force, the force which try to destroy the motion of the particle. And after that, we have seen many examples, right? Example of a simple pendulum, projection, then spherical pendulum. At that time, we have gone for the step-by-step procedure. At Wood machine, we have seen, and then we have seen the kinetic energy as a homogeneous function of generalized velocity. And in case of scleronomic, and but in case of rheonomic it is 2t2 plus t1. And now in this lecture we have seen the cyclic coordinate and relation between the momentum and the generalized coordinate. After that we have seen the conservation theorems. Okay, I have repeated the chapter in short. ज्यांनी सगळे लेक्चर बघितले त्यांना कळालं असेल, नाहीतर काय मॅडम बडबड करतायत, बरोबर ना? Okay, if still you have a doubt, you can ask. आहे का doubt?
No, ma'am.
If not, let me end the lecture. You can go for the next lecture. तुम्ही फिजिकल लेक्चर साठी आले नाहीत का? आज 4 तारीख आहे ना? किती जण आले होते? का कोणच नाही आले? Hello, I am asking you people. कोण कोण आले होते फिजिकल लेक्चर साठी? See, I hope you have seen the news for that because from the 15th February you have to come to physical lecture. Okay, because if suppose